Once again, good morning. This is Dr. Mensa here. I've been commenting on developments in the Ghanaian economy concerning our loan, our economic issues, going to IMF and stuff like that. So I've been following a lot of discussion on the media space, on radio, print, and I've seen some form of jubilation going on, and I've been asking myself, what is the cause for this jubilation? Meaning, Ghana have been able to secure 750 million US dollars Afreximbank loan, and so we are happy and jubilating. Whenever I see things like this, I keep on asking myself, what is going on within my own country? What is the essence for this jubilation actually? Well, I can, in one way or the other, understand why the importers, people, because Ghana is heavily, it's an import-dependent country, so we import a lot. So anything that will either artificially or naturally prop up the city to gain some strength is seen as wonders and something that is good, because all of a sudden people can then use some few cities to get some a lot of quantities of good from outside. I mean, this is really, if you are broke, like the country Ghana is really broke, and you go in for loan, is there a cause for real jubilation? Perhaps somebody will argue, yeah, if you are broke and you use your argument and your resources very well, that somebody is willing and ready to give you money, you should celebrate or you should be happy. Okay. What we don't know about this particular loan that has been granted is the interest rate on it, or how much we are going to pay in the repayment terms. Nobody is jubilating about those kind of things, and it's not even in the media space for us to. But let's assume everything is okay. This loan is actually it's meant for infrastructural development. Assuming that we don't waste this money and actually push this loan for the purposes of the project that is meant for, we see that eventually, when those projects are completed, there will be a trickle down effect in terms of gradually propping up economic growth. And from that point of view, we should celebrate. But is it is it a way of us also celebrating just because we've secured a loan, and so our city have now all of a sudden gained some strength, and so we should jubilate and then start saying that the managers of the economy have done wonders? No. I mean, if managing an economy, as was said by a famous politician in Ghana, that it's just borrowing and pumping the borrowed money or causing debt for the country, that's all it's about. That anybody can be a minister or a president or anything, a manager. But that's not something that we should jubilate per se. I mean, if you go and borrow, you have not solved your underlying structure. Loan does not necessarily solve your underlying structural deficiency in your economy. So if the loan is not going to help cure those deficiencies or remove those bottlenecks, and you just start celebrating, then I don't see why we should celebrate. I keep on asking what is going on. It looks as if the analysis is always very wrong. I mean, if you compare 750 million to how much did we receive, even just not loans, grants, gifts during during COVID era. What happened to those money? We just wasted it as a nation. We wasted it. And then some few weeks or months after the COVID era, whatever it is, we were in deep crisis, such that we have to run to IMF. So getting such loan facilities of money into your country is not really, for me, it's not a cause for. Because remember, the reason why we were rushing and begging to get that loan is because the country was sick. So I'm going to give this analogy. Just imagine somebody who is addicted to cocaine or heroin. And so that person is so broke that it got to a point that it's not able to fund its addiction. Okay? So there's no money to buy even crack or whatever it is, or even it could be an alcohol. So the person is really suffering. It's really suffering on the streets and begging, please give me some money, going about institution begging. And then somebody then dash you some money, and then immediately that person go and get the shot into the body, and then the person gets stabilized, right? then if the person was actually shaking everything because of the influx of that debt or that medication into the body, that person starts shivering, that person appear and seem to be okay momentarily for a short period of time to appear that it's okay. But I realize that even that short, which is in this case alone, if the person does not get real rehabilitation, the situation to remove that addiction, well, even that shot is going to cause for that person to be in a bigger problem some few hours down the lane or some few days down the lane. And that is exactly the analogy you have to bring in here. I mean, getting the loan, securing the loan into our economy, it's more or less like that. So we have gotten something that will prompt us to be like, oh, we are stable now. Investors have a bit confident that okay, our money is not going to depreciate. At least they'll be able to repay some of the loans, but they'll be able to pay some contractors. So we look as if we are okay. That stabilizes the city. But is the underlying addiction, the structural deficiencies, has it been removed? Have we now in a rehabilitation that we are taking care of those addictions such that as we are getting those proper medication in bits and pieces, our addiction or the structural deficiencies in our economy is going to be removed such that some few weeks down the lane, we are not going to go back to a worse situation, or we are going to come out from the rehabilitation center as a better economy, right? So that's what you have to ask the managers of our economy that, yes, these loans are coming in, these monies have started trickling in, which is good. It will stabilize us a bit. The fall of the city will stabilize a bit. But what next? Okay? What are we using these monies, these funds for? Said that are we using it to cure the underlying structural deficiencies that forces us to always go and look for loans, that forces us always to be broke, and those kind of, is it removing inefficiencies? Are we using the money to support the productive sector? Are we using the money to support the important infrastructural sectors, which is now totally destroyed, that we are in this mess? The cause for the celebration have to be really put into perspective. Why we have to celebrate? Why we don't even have to even perhaps not even talk about this and say, well, we are not out of the woods yet, right? So yes, we've gotten some loan from Afreximbank. Yes, good. Some more monies may be coming. Remember, it's all loans. We have to pay back with some interest, with something, which is good. But what we as academics, the nation, media, and all other important stakeholders have to look at and keep an eye on is, what are these monies being used for? Are they being used to fund our addiction for more trouble going ahead? Or is it being used to address those problems? Are we now going to go to rehabilitation, come out better as better people, or we are going to continue overdosing ourselves debt till we totally collapse and get ourselves destroyed? So let me have your take on this.